everyone, welcome back to my channel. So back again. If you've been following this, we've been making these embellishments from the Tilda Sewing Bird paper pad. So I'm just going to kind of continue with that. So I've entitled this kind of, you know, it's just going to be a mini series because there's not going to be a huge amount of parts to it. But I've entitled it kind of Using Up Stash, because this is kind of a pad that I've been, you know, hoarding for ages and not wanting to kind of let go of. So, you know, that's kind of what we've been doing. And I have had one or two people email me and ask whether I would sell the kit. I have got a kind of plan in my mind for this particular kit. So I've been kind of mulling it over for about a week because I've been trying to think of a kind of backup plan, and I'm really sorry to those people who have emailed, but I'm going to kind of stick with the plan because it was kind of what I'd set out, you know, in mind to do when I first started with this. So I shall tell you the plan probably in the next video or the one after. So we'll see kind of how far we get really with this. So far we've obviously made, on the first episode we made these blue embellishments, which hopefully kind of you can see. I have kind of knelt up a little bit now so that I can see a little bit better in the screen, but not particularly well. Put those to one side, and then last time we made these gorgeous pink embellishments. So all obviously coming from the same pack. So again, I've come a little bit unplanned today, but I thought what we'll do is hopefully we're going to make some little chipboard tiles or wooden tiles, and then possibly some tags. We'll see kind of how the time takes us really, you know, so let's get cracking and see how we get on really. So I've brought along my little paintbrush, and I've brought along my Mod Podge. I have brought along some tissue, so let me grab that from the pile here to the side. So some tissue to kind of mop things up. Right, so first of all what we'll do, I thought, is you know, cover a couple of tiles. So what I thought we'll just do is obviously use the paper that we have been using. So I'll just trim that kind of a bit neater. So perhaps what we'll do is kind of do a round one and a square one from the pink. And then perhaps what we'll do is also a round one and a square one from the blue. So I hope everyone's having a good day. I've been, I'm working on another journal, so hopefully that's kind of coming together and almost finished. So hopefully I will do a flip through and get that into my Etsy shop, you know, at some point this week. And I have also been really busy working on my digital stuff. So if you've watched my videos before, you may have watched my recent haul video, where I picked up the most amazing, you know, I thought the most amazing kind of vintage finds, and two of which were these fabulous books. So I had decided that I was going to try and make an actual full kit, you know, from these books. So I have been playing and playing and playing and playing for 2 weeks now, taking up a lot of my time, but it's, you know, I'm really enjoying it, having a lot of fun. It's coming together. I feel like it's nearly finished, but what I would like to do probably before releasing it, I'm just going to kind of you know, weigh that down with a book. What I would like to do probably before releasing it is try and make a journal with it. so that I kind of just make sure that I think it's kind of a nice usable one. You know, I guess so that I feel that it works as a kit. So that's kind of how I'm planning to do it. So I'll just weigh that one down. So, but to be honest, I mean, I'm not brilliant with kind of using all these different technologies and, you know, kind of the effects that you can use, and I don't know, cutting out the images on screen and, you know, things like that. So I kind of started out by doing it all manually, and you know, obviously I couldn't really fussy cut certain things very, you know, really perfectly. So that kind of took up quite a bit of time, but I have since been teaching myself to, you know, kind of do it electronically. So I'm feeling quite excited that I have learned so much over the last couple of weeks. You know, and I mean, I'm sure lots of people obviously already know how to do these things, probably think, oh gosh, you know, but for me, this has been really a very steep learning curve and a big kind of journey of how to use all these different things. So that's what I've been kind of up to mainly. I have obviously completed a journal last week that, you know, thank you very much, Liz, that sold last week. And I obviously, as I say, I've been working on another journal, but I have mainly, the bulk of my time has been working on my digital stuff. And I've also been working on some other digital things as well, because obviously one thing leads to another, and as you're kind of doing it, it's kind of, oh, now I've got this idea, oh, now I've got that idea. So it's all been, you know, moving on really from one thing to another. So I have actually created some other digital things as well, which hopefully, you know, I can release those quite soon, because I think they're kind of just about done. But yeah, I've been having lots of fun. So that's the chipboard tiles kind of just weighed down now, just while we're, you know, waiting for them to dry. So then what I've brought along here, I've just brought along some little bits and bobs to make some tags. So I've got these little shapes that I've cut out, you know, to spare you having to sit watching. And then what I've also got, which I thought was, oops, sorry, I've just knocked something off of the desk here. What I've also brought along is I bought some upholstery fabric samples from a shop that we have over here called Laura Ashley. I think you have it in the States as well. I'm not sure whether it's anywhere else, but certainly I'm not sure it's either is so popular in the States as it is here, but it's very popular here. And in our particular one, they sell off occasionally the upholstery samples. So I managed to get a whole bunch of them. Now, the only thing is they are backed around the edges to this, you know, sticky kind of paper, which I have tried peeling off. Sometimes it comes off, sometimes it really doesn't. So this kind of, I decided to leave it and make this into a tag. So we'll see whether this is going to actually work, but I thought this colour went rather nicely with all the bits and bobs that we've been making. So I've brought along just some card here, and all I'm going to do is really roughly cut it, just so that I can get this glued down onto here. So this is where I discover I haven't bought my glue. Oh, I had this horrible feeling for a moment that I had not brought my glue with me. So all I'm going to do is literally glue this down onto the card. And just kind of glue it just randomly around. And then what I might do is weigh that down as well. So I wonder if I could just, right, I'll put that there to one side. Actually, I'll put it up here, and I'll just pop a book on that as well, just to weigh that down as well. So that's that one. So whilst that's kind of drying, we could get started on these two. So these are kind of smallish tags that I thought would be kind of quite fun, really. So I've got some, you know, just some vintage book page that I thought I'd bring along, just, you know, in case I wanted to use any. So we could kind of pop some onto here. And then I've obviously pre-popped out some of the little bits and bobs from the paper pad, so that you're not having to watch me just mundanely kind of pop things out. But I thought, you know, we could just make some teeny tags, which I really like using tiny tags sometimes. I think they're super cute, and literally could just kind of pop on, you know, I mean, even that to me just looks really sweet. And then I wonder if I've got some other little bits and bobs somewhere. Look, got like some little stamped images. This might be too wide for the tag. It's just the definition of the word cherish there, which maybe we could have that kind of here. I mean, I think that just looks really cute kind of as is, to be honest. I really like the look of kind of things like that. Or we could use the buff coloured card. I always love the buff coloured card. I think I prefer the pink actually today. So what I'm going to do is just kind of glue that on. Like that. And then I should just glue this, and then what I'll do is tear off whatever is overhanging from here. Don't know whether that works actually. Oh yeah, that looks okay. Right, that's that. And then, oops, just have the scissors kind of on there. I feel like it needs something to brighten it up for some reason. Now, I thought I had bought my tin along. Yeah. Just grab my little tin that I like to bring along for these videos, but also actually I dug out some flowers that I've got, so we could kind of have a flower on here. Might be quite nice. In fact, we could have a flower instead of a you know, hole at the top. Might be nice. And actually in my tin today I seem exceptionally tight on space on this desk, because it's the same size as normal, but it just seems very tight on space today, even worse than usual. So I don't know quite what's going on. And then I just have a look to try and find something to use. We've obviously got these pink flowers that we've been using a little bit, and I've got some other ones there. And I should have in this tin some other bits that we've punched out previously from the kit. So I'll just grab out some more flowers as I kind of come across them. For some reason though, I can't see any bits in this tiny tin. You see, I've just brought this along and I know not much fun just listening to me rummage through it. Here we go. We've got a little cotton reel. Got this, which I love using things like this. We've got another cotton reel here. Got a lovely bright pink button here. That might be a bit too bright to be fair, but it's worth always having a look, isn't it? Because you just can't tell sometimes until you actually kind of place things down. Got a pink button. And we've got one of those little kind of tags. I'll just keep this out to one side as well. Right. Okay. Okay, right, let's move this tin to one side now. So what we could do is kind of have that flower up there, which then just makes it look a little bit brighter and more colourful, doesn't it? I don't think that's quite the right colour really, that button. Could have a little pink button down the bottom. Maybe something like that. Looks quite pretty. So might go for that. And then what I'm going to do actually, because this is very fiddly to actually glue this down, I'm sure lots of people would just use a Pritt stick. I never personally get on very well with Pritt sticks. I don't think they tend to stick very well. And that's probably famous last words, and I'll probably discover one that's amazing and be using it all the time soon, just to kind of contradict myself completely. But just in the past, I've never really found them to be particularly great. Actually, I'm just going to stick this button down first. I don't really find them to be particularly great. They kind of often, I think, are a little bit weak, I suppose would be the term I'm looking for. You know, they kind of seem like they've glued, and then a week later your stuff's all kind of peeling off. But I have, you know, watched lots of videos where people use Pritt sticks, so you know, maybe they have really improved over the years, because I actually haven't used one for, you know, many years. So perhaps I should give one another try, because to be honest, they are fabulous for being much less messy than you know, wet glue and things like Mod Podge. But I just, yeah, have not had much faith in them in the past. Okay, so yeah, the reason I used the Mod Podge, I don't know whether I actually finished saying or not, was because obviously then I could just paint it on, as the scissors are very fiddly, rather than you know, trying to get it with my glue here. So I've just got that, and then what we could do, I cannot pick things up today. Maybe something like that looks quite sweet. So just pop a bit of glue on the button here. And then we could have a little flower there, to be honest. No, right, we'll go up there. So I'll just pop a bit of glue on this one. And then just pop a little bit of glue on here. It's quite fun to use flowers as kind of the tabs, I think. Add something a little bit different, doesn't it, to things. I'm just checking whether I want a different colour flower. No, I'm going to go for this bright one. I can do that one. No, I'm going to go for this one. There we go. So, I mean, I think that's really cute how that is. Obviously, you know, if we wanted anything more on there, we could just kind of stamp some corners or something. Let me see whether I have bought my ink along. I think I kind of said this last time, and I'm obviously just kind of blindly repeating myself constantly. But, you know, it's quite difficult when you do these videos because you kind of bring things down. And obviously there is a limit to how much stuff you want to actually bring down with you. But then guaranteed you haven't got the one thing that you would like to use. So today that may be that I haven't got my ink to be able to actually stamp something on there. Because, yeah, you know, kind of, no matter how much stuff you bring, there's always going to be something that you actually haven't got. So today it looks like it's the turn of the ink that I have now not brought along. So I don't want to kind of bore you by rummaging around endlessly for the ink. So I just won't actually stamp anything down here, but you know, could be stamped. Could actually pop that there if I wanted, just to fill that space a bit. Let's have a look. Yeah, let's put that there. There we go. Okay, so that's a little tag. Ooh. And then here, just got this really skinny little tag, which I was actually intending on attaching somehow to this to have a kind of little joint one, but now I've obviously popped that flower there. What I could do is pick that little pearl centre off, like that. Just pop that down there. Got my crocodile. Here's my small hole. Right, now what I'm going to have to do is make sure that I do actually get it through the tag. Yeah, like that. That looks quite cute. I wonder if I've actually got an eyelet in here. Should have. So I can just pop in an eyelet. Actually, that one's going to be a bit big. Got a tiny eyelet there, which happens to be blue, which actually kind of looks quite good on that particular tag, I think. So I'll go with that. Like that. Now this is where this is not going to work, because I've obviously got the fat set up, you know, for... Oh, it really didn't work. Look, the eyelet even came out on the crocodile itself. So look, completely mucked that one up. So let me see whether I have another eyelet. Preferably in a colour would be good, because that would have just been perfect. So I don't think I have, you know. Got a white one, which I'll just keep that out just in case. Oh, I have got this lovely purple one. That's now a bigger hole, I think. Yep. So I could always make the hole bigger out of this, couldn't I? A couple of those. Right. Now this is why you shouldn't really do things just unprepared on camera, isn't it? Because it's not great. Now is that just going to fit in there or not? Do I need to punch it bigger? Right, let me punch a slightly bigger hole. Okay, right. Get the other eyelet. Now, hopefully this one will punch in, because I'm set up for bigger eyelets. So, right, okay. There we go. Right, okay. So then what I can do is, if I just pop, maybe kind of, got a little flower here, so I might unpick that. I've actually lost a petal there. Oops. That looks like it's only got 4 petals. So that's not ideal, is it? Let's just put that out of the way. Right, won't be using that one. This is not going well now, look. Right, I've got these blue flowers, which actually maybe they would be quite nice. Take off the first one because I didn't want the green from the leaves. Sometimes I like the greenery for the leaves and sometimes not. I don't feel that's right for this particular thing. Oh, come on. Right. Oh, come on. Okay. Now I've torn the flower. I'm not doing well today. I'm not actually feeling very well today. I've come out with a cold and it's making me feel very shaky and not really great. So, you know, I felt kind of a bit faint a couple of times. So that's probably why I'm so, you know, wobbly today. Not saying that I'm ever great, but I think I'm especially wobbly today. Right, so then what I'm going to do, I will just pop out from these little die cuts here. I'll just pop out another button or two. So these tiny ones, which hopefully I'm in frame. Oh, come out. Okay. So we'll just have kind of a little, just a little kind of cluster going on at the bottom. And we'll glue those on. Yes, I'm always a bit all finger and thumbs, but today I feel like I'm, you know, noticeably kind of shaky. So I can only think it is really from my coldy thing. I mean, funnily enough, yesterday I was kind of sneezing and really bad. So today, touch wood, that part of it seems a lot better. But obviously kind of left me feeling a little bit kind of shaky. So that's obviously what's going on today. Okay. This is taking a long time today, isn't it? I hope this isn't really boring. Right. Pop that to one side. And then what we'll do, we'll punch a tiny hole in this one. I won't bother with the eyelets as I didn't seem to have a lot of luck and I'm not sure ever what's the correct setting. So then what I thought we could do is just kind of thread that through. Now ideally I would have brought along some ball chain, but I didn't, unfortunately. So what I could do with is some sort of very thin ribbon, which again I obviously haven't really got with me. So what I'm going to try, and I don't know whether this will work now that I've put the flowers on, I have got a bulb pin. So I'm just going to try threading it through. Now this might not work because this flower might be too long now. No, there we go. There we go. So that's just a cute little tag. To pop in, so I mean I think that's really sweet. So, and then I mean what you could do is even put a bit of lace kind of somewhere to just tie it in a little bit more. So we could just pop some lace somewhere. So I'll just put some lace at the bottom. So if I just cut that like that, and I'll just kind of trim it in half so it's not so thick. Because obviously this tag's quite delicate. Just put that there along the bottom. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to pop that to one side. So it's a bit slow going this morning, I'm afraid. So the next tag was obviously the fabric one that we glued down. So if we just cut round it now, just kind of try and neaten it up a little bit. Like this. very straight, is it? Dear. Not making a very good job of things today, I'm afraid. Not only am I a little bit shaky, but I'm, you know, clearly not really working to my best. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do, decide which way up we want it. So probably like this, I think. So just cut a tag shape like that. Okay. That's a bit better. Okay, and then I thought this one would look very nice on there. And you see what I could do, but obviously I haven't got my sewing machine here, is I could actually stitch around this tag, just so that it kind of, you know, holds together better, because obviously it has got that sticky kind of back stuff. Not that it seems to want to come away from there, it doesn't. So, you know, if I don't kind of remember or I don't get a chance, I don't think that's a problem really. So, and again, obviously, just like, you know, just like the paper tags, it just happens that this is fabric. Just going to layer up elements on here. Like so. Just literally kind of, you know, layering up some little bits and pieces on here. And then what we could do is obviously have a bit of lace trim going across the bottom. That looks really pretty already, I think. So I'll just get some glue. And I think I've said before, but I mean, I find this glue holds really well, you know, on everything. So I do find it holds well on fabric and what have you. So, you know, that should be fine. And then, I mean, I'm just waffling really, you know, while I'm crafting. But I wanted to say thank you to somebody, and I can't think now who it was. I must start writing it down. But I think I've said before that I'm often watching YouTube while I'm doing my workout, you know, on my cross trainer or something. And so I can't really be typing or certainly writing names down or anything. So I can't remember now who it was, but I wanted to say thank you, and I will try and remember and say thank you next time, because I was watching YouTube and I overheard this person saying that they purchased an ink like deal from HP, where they just, you know, you subscribe to get like a monthly ink package. Now, I had never heard of that before, and obviously ink is so very, very, very expensive. So, you know, kind of, I mean, I had to laugh at a message that I got from somebody. I won't name names or anything in case that person's watching and their husband's watching, but it did make me laugh because they said, oh, I'm waiting for my husband to go out so that I can print these and he won't know that I've been using all the colour ink. And it just made me laugh because that just sounded like my house, that, you know, no sooner have we bought it than it would be gone, and then my husband would be saying, who's used all the ink, you know. So it did make me chuckle. But anyway, so yes, I overheard somebody saying that you could get this deal from HP, and I just thought, oh, amazing, you know, fantastic. So I had a look, and weirdly enough, my dad had obviously heard about it last week also, because he suddenly said that he'd signed up for it just last week. So I don't know whether it is a new thing or whether he just happened to hear about it the same week that I did. I'm not sure, but anyway, I thought that was incredible. Unfortunately, our printer was so old and rubbish and very, very, very basic that it was not compatible with the deal. And the deal is called Instant Ink, for those people who might be interested. Now, I don't know whether this is everywhere or whether this is a UK thing, or if it is everywhere, whether it would maybe be called something else in other places, but certainly here in the UK it's called HP Instant Ink. So I ended up buying a new printer because our ink had run out, and just the 2 cartridges, you know, the colour and the black, was going to be £32, which obviously is extortionate, you know. So it just wasn't worth it. So, you know, a whole new printer. I bought actually a decent one for a change. And I think it was kind of £79 or something, which I had recently bought, or looked at buying a scanner. Well, I had bought a scanner. I'm hoping to take it back now because the quality of the HP one is far superior, obviously, to the one that I had bought. And yeah, so anyway, cut a long story short, I've now got a, you know, printer which literally I've just been printing on it this morning and yesterday for the first time. Oh, I'm so pleased with it. So it does the most beautiful quality prints, and I can sign up for their instant ink, you know, which is phenomenal. So yeah, I'm really, really thrilled. And I just thought, oh, YouTube is so amazing, isn't it? The things that we can share amongst each other and find out about that otherwise I would not have known about that. So yeah, I was very, very, very pleased to hear about that, because no one wants to obviously buy ink, and it is, as I say, so expensive. So I couldn't have been more thrilled, to be honest, when I managed to do that. And you know, and the kids are really pleased, because otherwise every time that they want to print anything, you know, for school or anything, we have to say, oh, we've got no ink, you know. Then they have to wait, and they get kind of an allowance, I think, that they're allowed to print at school. So then they have to wait and print things at school, but obviously that's not great. So yeah, really, really, really pleased that I managed to get that. So I think it's going to be a great investment, really. Actually, I quite like that with the blue lace. It makes it look sort of very pretty and delicate, doesn't it? So I'm just going to pop some blue lace there. And obviously, because I have been working with my, you know, trying to work on creating my digital kit, along with some other digital things, it's obviously kind of necessary to have a, you know, not only working printer with ink in it, but quite a decent one as well. You know, so yeah, I was kind of really pleased. It was a present for the whole family, but obviously at this moment in time, I'm probably the person who's most thrilled with it. Oops. There we go. Oh, get off. Can't get that to stick on there, having said how great that glue is. Right, let me get my board up quick and flip it on there. Just to kind of hold it in place for a few minutes while it's kind of struggling to adhere to that. So many things I think are so much better nowadays, aren't they? You know, kind of, I mean, like the instant ink thing. You know, years ago, you wouldn't have had that as an option. And, you know, well, I mean, years ago, we wouldn't have even had things like that in our homes. So, you know, things really are very accessible now. And, you know, that really is amazing. The stuff that we all have access to and can do and what have you now. And then I'm just going to pop kind of a flower on somewhere just to make that look really pretty. And actually what I'm going to do is obviously punch a hole through here. Get the crocodile back. Like that. And then I will punch an eyelet in, but obviously a big one, so hopefully I'm not going to have problems because it's the wrong size set up on the crocodile. So let me just see what I've got here. But I won't be able to find that other purple one. Oh yeah, got it here. Okay, so I might go with that. So that's looking a little bit lost there, so perhaps I won't. Right, let's undo this. Hopefully that's kind of now adhered to that. I'll just do it on the other side, just to be on the safe side. So what I might do is actually pop a little hole protector on there, but what I might do is actually glue it on, because obviously this is going onto fabric, so I just want to kind of make sure it's really stuck on there like that. Okay. I'm just going to check how much time. Okay, we're up to 40 minutes. The time is absolutely whizzing by, isn't it? Well, it might not be for you. It is for me. So, right. Okay. Maybe that one looks pretty. I'll just glue that down. Okay, and then it's just a case of decide what to pop through here at the top, which actually, just wondering, did I want to pop one of these somewhere? I love these really bright pink flowers from this lovely trim. I wonder if that would look better than that. I think it would actually, so I'm just going to take that off. Actually, I can glue this with my hot glue because that will be a lot quicker. Okay. There we go. Now, what I could do is, I wish I had some bright pink ribbon with me. I don't think I have. Let me just quickly have a look through my bag here to my side. No, I haven't. So what I might do, if everyone is happy for me to, is kind of leave that one and do it later. Or actually, I do have this lace, which I kind of dyed this with my Dilutions sprays. So it's not, you know, it's not necessarily even or anything. But actually that is quite nice. So I might use this. So what I shall do is just literally kind of probably this end. For some reason this end looks a little bit paler colour. Oh. Right, I'm going to tear this like that so that I have a smaller piece to work with, and then just going to cut it in half because it's quite thick. Like that, and then hopefully that will be long enough. Did I glue that? Yeah. I couldn't remember for a minute whether I had glued that in the end or not. So I'll just pull that through. Through there. Okay, so that looks pretty, and obviously it's quite nice because this is a fabric tag, which, you know, is nice for a change, isn't it? So I'm going to pop that to one side, and then I'm going to get back those couple of you know, chipboard tiles that we started. So I'm just going to literally trim around here like that. And again, I can't see that brilliantly to cut around these because obviously I've got that light on, you know, to make the light a little bit better for filming. And obviously kind of, you know, I don't want to kind of be peering down or anything being in the way of the video. So I'm not as close as I would like to be cutting around these. So I'm just going to literally cut them quite roughly. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of file them down So, and when I say file them, I literally mean file them with a nail file, which I do use quite often as opposed to sandpaper, just because, I mean, obviously it's not quite as good as sandpaper, you know, what's the word, you know, the sanding motion. But the good thing is with a nail file, obviously it's very small, and you know, it is also padded. So now this one is wonky, that's how it was. These were in a pack of little wooden shapes, so I'll see if I can kind of file it down a little bit. They don't tend to cut very well. I have tried cutting them before when they've been wonky, and they don't seem to like it. So I will try and file it slightly straighter rather than cut it. Like that. Okay. I mean, it's not perfect still because it was quite wonky, but it's better than it was. And I just think these chipboard tiles, they're quite nice. I quite like them sometimes as a, you know, a tab for a tag, you know, or kind of dotted around the page somewhere. Or sometimes the smaller ones anyway, I mean not these because these are actually quite large, but the smaller ones I quite like as flower centres sometimes, things like that. And actually these and bigger, I quite like sometimes popping on an envelope. I'll show you in a second what I mean. You know, on the flap. So like a tab for the flap. I think they look quite cool like that. So, you know, I think they're good fun to kind of have in your supplies, in your stash. And obviously, you know, this we're making all to coordinate. So you've got kind of, hopefully, the bulk of the things that you need for your projects. So yes, I was hoping that that was going to fit. So I had this horrible feeling it was going to actually be too big, but I'm just going to trim off, you know, the little bits from where it was cut out. So can pop it on like that. This one here, I've got that little word. So we could have that on there. That's quite nice. We've got those buttons. They may be a little bit on the big side, but I'll just have a look and see if there's anything else. And obviously there is also, you know, on the bits that we have been using. So this was one of the bits that we started using last week. There's some tape measure, or measure tape left. So we could maybe use that. Have a look. Just trying to work out then whether that went right to the, you know, right to the digits or not. I can't tell whether it does or it doesn't. I'm just going to cut it down because I think it would look better done like that. So what we could do, we could have kind of a bit of tape measure and a button or something. Don't want to kind of lose the button in there, but that might be quite sweet. I wonder if that bobbin, that reel is better on there. And actually, I'm just having a think, because I have a feeling that there were some smaller you know, cotton reels. So let's just have a look through. I'm sure that one of the pages actually had little reels kind of lined up along the bottom of the page. but they, there we go. They haven't then got the label on. I'm not sure I like those so much. I quite like them with the label. Right, let's just check whether there's anything else on here that we could be using. There's another pink button, so I'll just pop that one out. And then there's another one of those coloured ones. So I'll just pop those out because they're quite small, which is quite good. So what we could do is have them like that. Now, I haven't really ever made chipboard tiles with things overhanging before, but they look quite sweet, don't they? So I'm a bit worried that they would be getting damaged. So I think what we'll do, we'll try and kind of glue it as close to on as we can, and then we might have to kind of file the edges away. And maybe have a little button to the side. It's quite nice like that, isn't it? So I'll just leave that one to dry for a moment. And then this one, I could put the tape measure running along the bottom. That's quite sweet. So what I do, I just place a little bit of glue down there. And then what we can do is cut this off so as it fits nicely. And then obviously I will refile the edges so that it's kind of, you know, in keeping with the base paper. I'll just glue this one on. Press that down. So that's 2. And we'll just do these ones. Do we like that or not really? I'm not sure how much I like that. I've also got this little oval one which I had done before, which I wonder about that somehow. That's kind of sweet with just the button in the middle. Actually, I quite like that. So I might not use these two. I might put them to one side and maybe just go with this one with the button. I wonder if it needs the tape measure as well as the button. Let's just have a look. Now, does that look a bit odd, like it's kind of wings, maybe? I think that looks fine. So I'm just going to glue this one down like that. Okay, and then we'll just pop this pink button just in the middle, like that. Okay, so we'll just leave those to dry for a minute, and then what I'll do, I'll trim off the edges, those bits overhanging, and then take the nail file again, like that. And actually this would look really cute. I haven't got any with me, but if you used a fabric ruffle at all, just kind of picturing it, you know, like along the bottom of the page, if you did a fabric ruffle, and you could just have that kind of placed in the middle of the fabric ruffle, I think would look really sweet. So I really like that. So I'm going to file the other two down, and then what I'll do, I do quite like doing these glossy accents, but again, I haven't got the glossy accents with me. So I think what we'll do is we'll just put some Mod Podge on these, just to kind of give them a you know, a seal, if you like, to kind of seal them. They don't need it. I mean, actually they look, you know, they look perfectly fine as they are. In fact, they're quite nice because they've got that really nice matte finish. But I guess just so's they're, you know, slightly harder wearing apart from anything else if they've got the Mod Podge on there. Okay. So I think they look really sweet. So what we'll do, we'll just get the Mod Podge back. And what I'll do is just, I'm going to get these book pages, just kind of put them on here so that I can kind of keep them together rather than keep moving them around. My brush is a bit dried up now, but never mind. I'll just literally paint some Mod Podge on just to kind of seal it. Oops. There we go. Gosh, I hope I'm in frame because I really can't see. I knelt up earlier, which was a bit better because obviously I could see the screen a little bit. And now I'm not kneeling, I can't see the screen at all. So it's just winging a prayer, hoping that I am actually in frame. Okay. So that's those. So I think they're really sweet, and yeah, you can just picture them looking really pretty, just even along the bottom of a page, even just with, actually, just as we just placed that, just with a strip of lace, and then just one placed in the middle, I think would look really nice. So I'm going to move those to one side. Now let me check what the time is, you know, because I'm aware that, right, we're up to, oh, it's 57 minutes actually. I don't know where the time's gone this morning, whether I have been dithering around a lot, I'm not sure. We don't seem to have achieved very much in our 57 minutes, but you know, however, I am quite pleased with the things that we have made. I think they look really pretty. I wonder if we could just do one more thing. It's always hard to kind of stop, I find. Let's have a look. Right, I wonder whether we can. Okay, so I have got this little envelope. Let's do one more, just because otherwise I feel like we haven't really done very much in this particular video. So we'll try and do this super quick so that I'm not taking up too much of your time. Now, I sometimes use these crossword stamped images, so I did bring this along. I'm not sure whether we're going to use it or not, but I'll, you know, we can have a look, see what it's like. I'm going to cut out this little image here. I'm still having a bit of a panic about using this paper pad because more people have commented now saying they can't find it anywhere. So I am kind of questioning, what am I doing? Why am I using this pad that can't be replaced? But that was kind of my intention, was to kind of try and start using things up. So I must not panic now. I must kind of go with it. But yeah, I'm kind of having my doubts really. So what I quite like doing, so I was a bit scatty and didn't really explain. So this is just a wage envelope, and what I've done is glued the flap just down here, so that if you want to put a thumb hole you can, it's glued. If not, it just makes it thicker basically at the front of the pocket. And then I would glue that down onto a page like that, so you've got a top loading pocket. So that's that. And then what I quite like doing is just cover it with some paper. And then I thought, just for interest, the crossword stamped image is rather nice. So I don't know what you all think, whether you think that's a bit weird. I quite like it. So, and I just think it adds a little bit of something different. And it kind of gives the impression of like lazy days, you know, kind of doing a crossword. So just going to cut this out roughly for the envelope size. Like this. straightish. I'll just trim this down to make it slightly straighter. Like that. Okay. And then we'd have the crossword on top. And obviously we could have her to the side. Another thing that I sometimes quite like to do is kind of tear a chunk, and I would have a piece of book page behind. If I tear that like that, no, we don't need a huge piece obviously, and then what I would do is you know, kind of just tear a piece, have that laid behind, and you would have a kind of opening there with some book page. So whether or not we prefer it like that or with the crossword. I think the crossword's kind of fun actually, but just kind of, that's just something that, you know, you could bear in mind that, you know, that also looks quite fun. So we'll just glue this down. Like that. Card here that I can kind of spread that glue around better, just to make sure it's really kind of nicely stuck. And then obviously we've got our crossword piece, so we can glue that down. And this is just a stamp I've had for ages, stamped it obviously onto this you know, coffee dyed paper, and quite fun. I think they're a little bit like the bingo cards, you know, that lots of people use, that are very popular. So just, yeah, something kind of fun. So we've got that, and then we could have her kind of to one side. Maybe kind of add a couple of, whoa, flowers. Got some butterfly we could add. Some book page poking out. I don't know whether it really needs that, but I certainly don't like that, because we've got here something about a problem. That's not very good to have that showing, is it? We don't want problems. So we could have like that. So I'll just literally glue this down. I wonder if that's nicer that way. Okay. And also actually, while I'm doing this video, and I was you know, saying thank you to you know, the person who I can't remember, who I saw talking about the ink. I just want to say another massive thank you to Laura. Now, I know that I've mentioned Laura lots of times in my videos, and obviously she sent me those fabulous happy mails, you know, which I've obviously filmed and things. But I really, really, really am so grateful to all the support that you've given me, because ever since really, you know, restarting my YouTube channel, because obviously I've had it for some time, but I kind of went away from it for a long time. You have been so unbelievably supportive, and it means such a lot, and I really am so grateful. You know, that, yeah, I just, you know, you've really kind of, you know, championed me, I suppose, and kind of you know, just supported me in every single thing, and that's just so lovely. And I feel, you know, sometimes that's kind of what you need, isn't it, when you're kind of doubting yourself and things, to have somebody who's so incredibly, sorry, I'm just looking through my little bag of buttons here. You know, to have somebody who's so absolutely supportive and incredible is, well, incredible. So I just really want you to know that I really do appreciate all of your support, because, well, I just have never really kind of known support like it. And yeah, it just really does mean a lot to me. So thank you so much. And I am trying to work something out to send you as a little thank you. I'm trying to fathom out how you do it, because, well, you'll see when you get them. So hopefully, hopefully I will kind of be able to do that shortly for you. Just a very little something just to say such a thank you. And I'll just give you a kind of word of warning. Your husband probably won't be pleased. So we'll just kind of leave it at that, really. So, but yeah, I just really wanted to say a massive thank you, because I just, yeah, really appreciate all of your support, and it's been amazing. Thank you. So, and, you know, I mean, thank you to everyone generally who's watched my channel and things, because, you know, without you guys, obviously there would be no point in doing this at all. And, you know, it really is so boosting, you know, kind of, it really does so boost you into kind of sticking with it when people are so nice and so kind. And yeah, it kind of makes it all worthwhile, really. And it's just kind of a really nice thing now to have in my life, you know, doing these videos, which I love. And then having people actually enjoy them, you know, is amazing. Because, well, I don't know about kind of everyone else, but, you know, work isn't always maybe kind of as you would choose it. And so this is really very, very rewarding, you know, when there's such nice people and, you know, such lovely comments. So thank you very, very, very much to everybody who, you know, supports my channel and kind of comments. And, you know, even if you don't comment, because I understand that completely, because as I say, you know, I'm often watching when, you know, doing other things that I can't then comment, you know, because I'm not, you know, in a position to be able to comment. So I totally do get that. So it's not kind of, oh, you didn't comment. I get that, that's absolutely fine. But thank you so much just for sparing me the time and watching my videos, really. So it really does mean a lot. And it just, yeah, kind of brings joy into my life, really. So thank you very, very much. You know, it's kind of often my most exciting thing. It's kind of, you know, if someone's written a lovely comment, or kind of, you know, when you see your subscribers growing, you know, that just feels incredible and so very exciting. So yeah, it's kind of just brought a whole new element into my life, which is really great, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you very much. Right, enough waffling now. I'm just going to glue that little button on. And you see, Laura, I'm gradually using buttons, you know, 2 in all of these items I've managed to use. That's not great, I admit, but it is 2. 2 more than I had used. So right, okay. So there we go. We've made a few more items, and we're now up to, oh gosh, 1 minute 9. Right. Now, I'm not sure whether these are dry now, so I'll try and touch them in a moment. So, just a bit of progress. So, we have today made, obviously, a couple of tags here. We've made this large fabric tag, which really cute. We've made some little chipboard tiles. Oops, that's now stuck on the book page. There we go. And they're really sweet. And then we've also made this little pocket here, which if I just bring back, now this is the journal that I've kind of just brought along each time, just to kind of show you how things would look. And as I say, I mean, it's not assembled or anything else, but just to kind of give you an idea how things would look. So she looks kind of cool even on this page, you know, kind of, yeah, just looks nice. And then obviously that's just a top loading pocket there, so you've still got the pocket behind. So, and I would just glue that on like that. And then you've got obviously, oops, obviously there's a little bit wet there. Got obviously the chipboard tiles, which you could kind of just place along, if I just kind of demonstrate that. So what I was kind of talking about with the lace or the ruffle, you could just have kind of some lace at the bottom and just literally pop a chipboard tile along the bottom like that. I'm getting a dry throat now, so I'm going to have to finish in a second and have a cup of tea. So could have it like that. I mean, I think that looks just really, really sweet. And then obviously we've got the tags that we've just made, and again, I mean, you could just paper clip those onto a page or pop them into pockets, kind of however you like, really. So that's those. And obviously, hopefully this all complements the other things that we've made in the previous videos, which I'll just pull back. So it's all kind of coming together nicely. So you've got quite a lot of items there to kind of fill a journal with. So yeah, it's coming together. So I'll let you all go now, and I'll see you next time, which I'm not quite sure kind of, you know, where we're going to go next time, but anyway, I will see you next time and we'll kind of go from there. So thank you very much for watching, and yeah, give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and thank you very much. Have a great day. Thanks. Bye.